Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Smart Contact, where smart people come to contact crypto. My name's Jonathan. If you like making money in crypto, then welcome to the club. If you think there's more to money than in crypto, then go ahead and hit the like button, ding the little bell, hit subscribe all so we can get this message out there. Also, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not rich enough to give financial advice. If I had financial advice to give, I'd give it, but I don't have it, and so it's not financial advice. All right, so today is going to be a five things video. As always, there's so much to cover, and what I'm going to be covering today, of course, is going to be related to crypto, but I always talk about Russia and Ukraine because while this war is looming in Europe, our closest continental ally, then we definitely need to keep tabs on that. That's going to be the largest influencer on the market. As long as there's a real threat of nuclear war, that's always going to be on the back of our mind. Nobody wants to go all in on everything when nuclear war is on the table in an active war. So that's why let's start off with this, and it's no fun, but let's just keep tabs on it so we kind of know what's going on, feel a little bit more secure, because knowledge is power. So this is going to be real quick. So this is from the Wall Street Journal. Ukraine. What's going on there is the Polish president, President Duda, um, went to Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and said that the Ukrainians should be the ones coming up with the terms with Moscow, not independent third-party actors. Um, he also said that the Russian troops should leave Ukraine. Um, Also, there's a Russian who admitted to killing a civilian, and so he is on trial for war crimes. And then in the U.S., the Stars and Stripes are back up in Ukraine. We have our embassy there again. And so we're thinking about sending troops over there to protect it. That could be dangerous because if they get attacked, then we have to go to war with Russia. So, calculated move right there. And then in Russia, the foreign ministry has barred two of the most powerful Americans, Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, and Morgan Freeman, beloved actor from Shawshank Redemption and many other movies. And so that's going to be a blow to Russia. And then and that's in response to Biden administration sanctions. And then we got NATO, and so we have Finland and Sweden wanting to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is what NATO stands for, but Turkey it seems to be against it. Uh, and so that is what's going on right now in Russia. Let's definitely, and Ukraine and Europe and the rest of the world. So let's definitely hope that this can get resolved sooner rather than later because a peaceful world means a stronger market. And that's what we want. A lot of people say war is necessary for the way our capitalistic system works, but if that's true, it definitely still the economy works a lot better in the peaceful time. So let's try to angle towards that. And so now let's dive into our other topics. So when I was doing the research today, it was a lot of not too many positive articles, and the general crypto sentiment right now is not very high. Almost everyone on crypto YouTube is saying, well, yeah, we went down to 25 and we're going up. It's probably going to go up a little bit, maybe to 30, 32, and then we're going to go back down worse than ever before. And so that's what everyone's saying, and it makes sense. So let's take a look at the three big coins that we always look at. So we got Bitcoin right now at 30,100 or 30,239, above 30. As people like to say, the psychological level of 30,000. Let's take a look at ETH. ETH is at above 2,000, good psychological level. And then our beloved Luna. Let's see how that's doing. Ooh, Ooh, okay. So I mean that's up 10%. There's a bunch of videos out today being like, Luna's up 70%. I'm like, whenever Luna goes up a few thousand%, then make a video about it going up 70%. Whenever we're looking at this right here, that's nothing. And so Luna has still had its fall from grace. We'll talk about that a little bit here in a moment. So let's look at Tether. It looks like people are trying to do a bank run on Tether. Perhaps the same actors who made a play with UST, the largest decentralized stablecoin or algorithmic stablecoin, tried to do the same thing to Tether. Um, and this tagline says, "Pace of withdrawals in May means stablecoin company effectively dealing with a slow motion bank run." And a bank run just basically means they take all the money out, and so then Tether wouldn't be able to back it up with actual assets. So if you just keep withdrawing Tether without buying any more Tether, eventually you run out of Tether, and that's what happens in a bank run. There would be like a community, a local bank, like in a small city, and then a larger corporate bank would come and they just take all the money out of it, and then the bank would go bankrupt. The bank would go out of business, and then a Bank of America or whatever Chase, whatever the corporate bank would move in, and then they own all the money. And so it's a tale as old as time, and it's going to happen, and it's happening. And so Tether is spunky though. But Tether's not like, yeah, it's going to happen like the way that most crypto users are. Um, we can look at read the last little bit here. In a statement, Paolo Ordino, Tether's chief technology officer, said Tether has maintained its stability through multiple black swan events and highly volatile market conditions, and even in the darkest days, Tether has never once failed to honor a redemption request from any of its verified customers. This latest attestation, and if you're wondering what that is, I looked it up for you, approving of existence of something through evidence. This latest attestation further highlights that Tether is fully backed and the composition of its reserves is strong, conservative, and liquid. All right, strong, conservative, liquid. Sounds like some kind of a whiskey or something. I don't know. But so, hey, Tether still believes in itself, even though it does look like it's being attacked. Most people seem to be. If you watch my Luna video, I did go over some of the stable coins. Actually, I covered it live when it was depegging at the same time as UST, whenever UST was really depegging. And BUSD seems to be really strong, and USDC. They seem to be the two strongest of the stable coins at this time. And so, let's move along here. What do we got next? Oh yeah, so a bunch of billionaires are no longer billionaires, including our friend Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum. And so he was talking about how in this last correction, he in this current correction, he's lost a lot of his wealth, and it's not just him. I mean, everyone. There's this one guy. What's his name? Nor. Is it in this article? Let's see. I got it here in my notes. Michael Novogratz, I mean, he got a giant tattoo on his shoulder of like a Luna tattoo with a wolf howling at the moon. And so he's been coming out a lot and talking, making statements um, about how actually the next story is going to be on that, so I'll save that one. But um, but yeah, this is just seeing these super rich people losing their wealth, but they're keeping calm. He's not selling all of it for, 800 million or whatever it was, because he knows it's going to go back up. And so just keep that in mind. You don't lose money until you sell. How much you're worth isn't necessarily how much you will be worth with the same asset. So keep that in mind. Try not to sell low, try to buy low, try to sell high if you have to sell at all. Um, Yeah, on May 20th, he tweeted, "I'm not a billionaire anymore." The tweet, uh, the tweet that we all wish we could tweet, and that we're no longer billionaires. I mean, I tweet it every morning. I wake up and I'm like, I'm no longer a billionaire now that I've entered the real world and not my dream. And so, Ethereum blockchain platform has declared that he is no longer a billionaire after the dramatic wipeout of crypto fortunes. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. All right, so let's move along here. Yes. So this is a story on Terra from CoinDesk. Terra's difficult post-apocalyptic path, VCs backing away, regulars jumping on stablecoins. And basically, this is talking about how it's going to be hard to get VCs and to get large amounts of money to get put back into the Terra ecosystem after they lost $40 billion in a matter of days, in less than a week. Yeah, still just to think about it is still insane, but it is what it is. And I mean, there were warnings. There were warnings, and this is risky in crypto. And so let's go down here at the beginning. It's just kind of talking about the market in general. And then we get insights, which is like what the actual article's about. And it goes into the Mike Novogratz, what I was saying before. He's spoken about the need for post-lunar redemption cycle, so he's pushing for that. And it goes in. So there's different proposals. The way that Luna works is it's kind of like a DAO, in that all the community members, if you hold a certain amount of Luna, I'm not sure how it's changed at this point, but it used to be like if you had $20,000 in Luna or you had 20,000 Luna, then you could vote. And they were very transparent. Everything was on Twitter. They were doing what the community wanted. They were the crypto community, essentially. Oh, it's such a good project. And so one of the things that they're pushing for right now is to just keep it going, keep the Luna project going, just get rid of the algorithmic stable part, coin part. So I guess look into still doing Mirror Protocol and Anchor Protocol. I don't know how you do Anchor without UST, but there was a lot going on there, a lot of developers, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, a lot of intelligence. So they're just trying to push to keep that going, start a new project, not completely abandon it and go to other projects like Avalanche or Phantom or Polygon, all those devs. Devs stands for developers. And so when the rubble clears, what's going to happen? Regulation, says Yves Longchamp, the head of research at Swiss digital asset bank, SEBA. And so that's basically the gist of the rest of this article. Get ready for regulation. I don't know if it was or wasn't planned by the government. Again, Janet Yellen came out the next day. We're going to be talking a little bit more about a government here in just a moment. So we can get excited about that. That's probably the most exciting story, or the most interesting story, in my opinion, of the day. We got some important events coming up here pretty soon. Now let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, so crypto might have an insider trading problem, and I'd be surprised if it doesn't, because I mean, if it just was 1/10 or 1/100th as bad as it is in the traditional legacy financial market, then it would be a huge problem. And so it's just a huge problem, period. Whenever it comes to investing, and I think crypto at this point is a heck of a lot less insider traded than the traditional slash legacy market with the stock market. Martha Stewart and the politicians, and I mean, you're gonna tell me that just a handful of people control all the wealth, but they don't talk to each other? No, they talk to each other, they make plans, and they execute, and we don't get any of it. And so that's why I think crypto is going to be a bridge to a more equitable and sustainable financial system, and we're creating it together. So that's why I love crypto so much, and it's going to bring us together. It's going to bring humanity together. Let's not mess this up, guys and girls. And so let's see. I'm going to refresh this. And so what this article, I don't know why I can't actually see the article right now. I was reading it earlier. Um, Well, basically, it goes into a few coins, especially it goes into this one coin, Gnosis, as an example, because on Binance, somebody bought a whole bunch of Gnosis right before it listed, and then right after it listed, like a few hours after it listed, they sold all of it, and they made hundreds, over $100,000, and so it started raising questions. They talked to Coinbase about this, they talked to FTX about this. And they talked to Binance about this in this article, the Wall Street Journal did. And they all said they take it seriously. They all said that they have uh, steps in place to prevent this from happening, to prevent insider trading or from their employees leaking information or taking actions themselves. And Binance and FTX basically said, this has never happened before. This is all speculative. Coinbase admitted that it has happened to them before, and they all take it very seriously. They fire somebody immediately if it happens. And so that's just kind of an ongoing thing. There's no definitive um, resolution to this yet, but it is a hot topic of the week. Brian Armstrong was talking about it earlier too. And so just insider trading is not something we want in the crypto space. The whole idea, like Bitcoin, it's not, you can't insider trade Bitcoin because it's decentralized. And so we want all the cryptocurrencies to be decentralized in that way, more like a currency and less uh, vulnerable to manipulation by bad actors. And so let's move on to the next one. Oh yes, so this one is from Europe. But not in the way we were talking about it earlier. So this lady, she says cryptocurrency is worthless, and she's not just somebody. She's the European Central Bank president. So Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank, has warned that cryptocurrencies are worthless and should be regulated. So I mean, if it's worthless, why should it be regulated? Right there, it doesn't make sense. If it's worthless, then why are you going to regulate a worthless thing? Um, and so, I mean, just right off the bat, you're, you're against her. And so, because she's not understanding or working with the space and with the innovation, with the technology, and let's dive in even more. So the European Central Bank will shorten it to ECB. Um, Believes that it will, create more security and be safer for people if it's regulated more. Oh yeah, and then this I didn't like this line. My extremely modest opinion is that cryptocurrency is worthless. You're the president of the European Central Bank. It's not a modest opinion and you know it. That's not cute. It's because it's stupid. If you're saying something stupid in a cheeky way, it's not cute. It's just sad. And my extremely modest opinion is that cryptocurrency is worthless. It is founded on nothing, and there is no underlying asset to serve as a safety anchor. And so she continued, I have always stated that these types of assets are highly speculative and extremely risky. I mean, that's true. They are highly speculative and extremely risky, but that's definitely not the same as worthless. And so she was on a Dutch television show. Um, like you could lose everything. And oh yeah, and it goes down further. She talks about how she never invested in crypto, but her son did, and her son lost. Her son did terribly, or does it say that? Failed miserably. And so maybe there's a personal grudge. I don't get in it myself. My son did. He didn't like it, so we don't like crypto. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look at all. How about I did it? She did a bunch of research. Not my modest opinion. It's worthless. My son lost a bunch of money in it. I don't know anything. That is what I'm getting from her statements. And there's a lot going on in Europe right now. I would recommend checking out Coin Bureau's video from earlier this week. Um, they were, he talks about a lot of the regulations that are coming to Europe, and there's a lot that are coming. The Europeans can sometimes get a little heavy-handed on regulation. Uh, Generally, they're a little better at it than the United States, though. So I mean, it's something to keep an eye on. These are new laws, new regulations that are going to be affecting us the rest of our lives. So it's important to be engaged, to pay attention in the democratic process. We have freedom of speech. And so definitely reach out to your elected officials and try to help educate them and show them where you're coming from and where we're coming from in the crypto space. That we're not worthless. We need to remind some of these people that we're not worthless. You know, you don't have to have a fortune, you don't have to lose a fortune to be worth something. And so, at least that's how we think of it here in the States. And so that is going to be the majority of my five things video. So some coins that I bought are, let's see, I jotted them down here. Oh yeah, I bought some Bitcoin. Basically, I always buy Bitcoin on Cash App and then move it over to KuCoin, and then I convert it into my favorite altcoins like Moonbeam. And right now I'm just still holding it in the Bitcoin form. And I did sell some of it and put it in Tether. I'm still keeping an eye on Moonbeam. A lot of faith in Moonbeam. I bought some Matic. I've just been steadily putting money in Matic. They have that deal with Facebook. I need to look more into. Um, I don't like Facebook, but I do like Matic. And then I bought some Luna. Not a lot, but I bought like $10 of Luna. I got myself a good 15,000 Luna. And I got a little bit more Jasmine too. Um, and so I sold a tiny bit of Phantom just because it's, so based on its algorithmic stable coin and it's so low. It still hasn't reached, the last time I checked, it still hadn't reached its peg. And so and it went up 30%. It was like the fastest rising of the market yesterday. And so I just sold a little bit of it. Wish I would have sold everything at the top. But hey, I have a song about that. Make sure you check out my song, Didn't Sell at the top. We have more videos coming to you very soon in the works. We got ones, following up on Jasmine, following up on Doge, following up on this whole Elon Musk and Twitter situation. It looks like he's getting cold feet. It's starting to look more like he's not going to go through with it than he is. So maybe this is all just to make a point. But we'll get to that in another video. And of course, we're going to continue on with this whole Terra saga. And so thanks so much for tuning in. All you lovers, all you loners, please comment, ding the bell, hit the like, and thanks so much for tuning in. Much, much more to come. And bye.